Hey guys, Darren here. Welcome to Mayhem Country Living. Hope you guys are doing okay wherever it is that you are. I did a video earlier today on the government shutdown. And Surviving in Alabama had left a comment. And he's got a really good channel. You ought to subscribe to his channel if you have not done so yet. Surviving in Alabama. But I had done a video and he left a really good comment that why do the sheep allow the wolves to tell them what to do? And I thought that was a really good question. So I put that question to Apple's AI and I asked, and I had to change it around a little bit because it didn't really understand the wolves and sheep reference. So I asked, why would people allow their government to oppress them? And it gave me, I think, 4 different reasons, and it's like 2 pages. So I'm going to read this off, and I just want you to bear with me while I do it. It's very interesting. And mind you, this is an AI's response to a question that I posed to it. Why would people allow their government to oppress them? And this is the response. Fear of consequence. One major reason is fear of consequences. People may be afraid of retribution from the government if they speak out against it or resist its oppression. This fear can be especially strong in authoritarian regimes where dissent is not tolerated and opposition is met with brutal force. For example, in China, many people are too afraid to speak out against the government's human rights abuses because they fear being arrested, imprisoned, or worse. The next thing it said was a lack of awareness. Another reason is lack of awareness. Many people may not be aware of the extent of their government's oppression or the ways in which it affects their lives. This can be due to a lack of access to information, propaganda, or censorship that suppresses dissenting voices. In North Korea, for instance, the government tightly controls all forms of media and communication, making it difficult for citizens to learn about the outside world and the true nature of their government. Dependence on government services. A third reason is dependence on government services. Many people rely on governments for essential services such as health care, education, and social welfare programs. They may feel that speaking out against the government could jeopardize these services, especially if they have limited economic resources or alternative options. In the United States, for example, many people rely on Medicaid and other government-funded health care programs, which can make it difficult for them to criticize the government's policies without fear of losing these benefits. And the last one is cultural conditioning. Finally, cultural conditioning can also play a role in why people allow their governments to oppress them. Governments often use propaganda and indoctrination to shape public opinion and create a sense of national identity that is tied to the government's authority. Do you recognize any of this? This can lead to a widespread belief that the government has the right to control people's lives and that resistance is unpatriotic. Does that ring a bell? Or even treasonous. In countries like Russia and Turkey, the government has used propaganda and censorship to promote a nationalist agenda that suppresses dissent and opposition. Sounds like America. In conclusion, there are many reasons why people allow their governments to oppress them, including fear of consequences, lack of awareness, dependence on government services, and cultural conditioning. Understanding these factors is crucial to developing effective strategies for promoting democracy and human rights around the world. And I would also say understanding these factors is essential in combating them. Remember, I asked this to an AI, and this is what I got. Something to think about. Take care of your people, guys.